Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today I'm bringing another side-by-side comparison between two of Samsung's 8-inch tablets. We're going to be going against the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 8.0 versus the Note 8.0. Now obviously there's a couple things that separate this. One thing is the pen and another thing is the price point. But which one really is the more bang for your buck and better device for you? Let's find out. Now when it comes to the look and feel of these devices, you can kind of tell which one was this year's earlier model and which one's this year's later model. So for the Note 8, it did come out earlier on this year, and it has a very similar form factor to kind of like the Note or the S4, but I would say more like the Note. So the Note 2 to be precise. So you have a little bit of a hump that was reminiscent of the S4, you know, it had a little hump in the back. The Note 8 did too, you know, you had the speaker and light here, both which are not present on this, on the back side of this one. Shiny plastic, a little bit prone to fingerprint. On here, I would say this one is a little bit more so, but both prone to fingerprints, you know, shiny plastic. And you have the menu button, back button, and the layout is pretty similar, but one thing that's very noticeable is these bezels are really big. And it definitely makes this not the best looking tablet, I would say, because of the big bezels. However, on the other side, we have the Tab 3 8.0. First thing is, camera is directed on this side, which is a little bit easier when you're holding it. You're not blocking the camera very easily. It's kind of hard to get in front of this camera, so I think it's a really great placement for it to be the camera at the top right, as opposed to the middle. And this one, of course, has a lot narrower bezels, very sleek more so. Now one could argue that, well, this one you're going to touch the screen a little bit easier on the side, but as long as you're holding it, I would say properly, it's definitely the better looking of the two. So in terms of look and feel, overall, I would give it to the Galaxy Tab 3 8.0. Now, when it comes to web browsing, these two tablets have the same resolution, but of course we do have a little bit of a faster processor here, so we're going to see how that plays out, as well as the pen for the Note 8. So let's check it out. And stop this one. And now let's refresh. And see which one loads first. Now the web browsers kind of look different, even though they're the same browser, they do have a different look to each one. Both are still loading, and these are on the same Wi-Fi connection. It seems like the Note's going a little bit faster, but not too much, and the Note's done. Tab 3 is still going. Okay, so that is a considerable speed difference. I mean, if we can kind of talk while it's still loading, then it's definitely a pretty noticeable speed difference. And this is, of course, where the dual core and the quad core will play an effect. And now the Tab 3 is done. So that was a pretty considerable time difference. So needless to say, the Note 8 will probably take it in this round. But as you can, as I was saying earlier, text really isn't clear so much on either device, so that's just one thing that neither one has a very clear text in terms of movement. Both move fairly well. Not too much of a difference there. How about I pinch to zoom? Okay, definitely noticing some lag on the Tab 3 compared to the Note 8. Didn't have this much lag from before from the Tab 3 and other comparisons I've done, so. Definitely no slowdown in pinch to zoom, but just, of course, a little bit of stutter at the end. Now double tap. Oops. Okay, obviously a little hiccup there. 1, 2, 3. Again, this one's just, something's up with the Tab 3. You can see it's taking forever to load certain parts. Now this hasn't done this dramatically, especially in other comparisons, so I do want to note that. But it seems that right now, see, now it's working fine. Overall though, the smoothness is seeming to go to the Note 8.0. And of course on the Note you do have the ability to use the pen, which interacts with screens just like a mouse would, which is very useful on a lot of websites, especially websites that aren't mobile based like this one. So overall the web browsing will go to the Note 8 for both speed and also just the extra feature of the pen. Now when it comes to music players, these two are very, very similar. So similar that I couldn't really tell a difference. You can tell a difference, but here, you guys decide down in the comment section below which one you think was a better music player, because they're tied to me. This one sounds a little louder to me, this one sounds a little clearer. We'll see, all right?
But all that money don't equal the price of fame. From LA to New York, Seattle to the Bay, West Side, night flights, I hope you can lay. Y'all down in Vegas, they know where we stay. Last show in Cali, headed out to the Staple. I was a boy with a dream, had my head in the clouds. Now I'm sleeping first class, got a bed in the clouds. Hit my pops to pick me up, and he said he was proud. King shit with a beanie on instead of a crown. Yeah, counting on my blessings. Shout out to the Most High. Started from the bottom, now I'm sitting at the Most High. Cheapsies to the business, now I'm literally so fly. Motivated by my brokenness, guess that's why.
Okay, so they're very similar. I'm just gonna call this one a tie. It just really seems like both of them are pretty equal. Yes, they're the same company, same 8-inch design, months apart. It just sounds the same. So yes, tie. Okay, now as we go into video playback, we are going to start to see again similarities between two tablets that are again only months apart and they're 8-inch. I do see slightly differences, so hopefully if I zoom in, you can see they're very different colors. I'm not really sure which one I like better. I think I like the Note 8 one a little bit better. It might just be the graphics card built in. This is the same video, it's the same resolution. So let's play them at the same time and see which one.
Gosh, the more I see the GS4, the more I want one.
Then you should get one.
I just feel locked in.
I mean, they have Smart Switch that transfers everything over for you.
I don't know if I feel like learning how to use another phone.
You had to learn how to use your phone at one point, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't think you can do that again. I see what you did there.
You'd rather not just in the bathroom.
Thanks for having us over. Yeah.
Easily transfer text con.
So, I'm not sure, guys. This one is again very, very similar. I kind of noticed a bit of a difference when we got to this part right here. So this orange seems to be a bit different. If I can just get on the same. So this orange seems to be a bit different. To me, this one looks like the more realistic one. No, never mind. It was the way it was tilted. They're both good. This one actually seems, so from the camcorder's perspective, this one seems actually a little more neutral and this one seems a little more vibrant. It's kind of your choice. Both of these I would say are pretty damn good for watching video. I would say with more intense video, this should lag a little bit less because of the graphics. This is going to be another tie. Now, when it comes to the cameras, they do have different interfaces, at least for the time being. The Note 8 has the older style interface, whereas the Galaxy Tab 3 has the 8.0 newer interface. So for instance, mode here is up here at the top and mode here is over here. Now, not that they have a lot of differences in like how they operate, but they both can do voice commands, but overall the experience is definitely better on here. And the shooting modes are about the same. You actually, had some on here that you don't have anymore on there. So it's just a little bit different. Actually, making sure, yeah, no, you don't have some of them on there. So it depends on which ones you like. I would say more people like beauty face, panorama same, sound shots on there, it's not on there. It seems like this one has the better overall modes, I would say. However, when actually taking the photos into account, let's take a look and see how they turned out. Oops, I guess I pushed the power button. There we go. Okay, so let's go to the latest photos, which on this one I can't tell which one was taken most recently. Yes, okay. Sorry, I had to match the right face. So this is just taken right now. Yes, this was taken right now. And you could definitely see, obviously, the color reproduction was much better, considering we have lights back here. So this definitely compensated for the light, and it's a bit more sharper in detail. Now, in terms of the color, in terms of the color reproduction, they're both pretty similar, but definitely, I would say, in the clarity, both in just where the triangles meet. And I would say a little bit more noticeable in the Google section. The Note 8 does take it there. So for a little bit clearer photos, the Note 8 seems to be the one to go with, and definitely better color on the front camera. So I would recommend the Note 8 for you shutterbugs out there. Now, when it comes to gaming, this is more of a clear-cut answer. Overall, the Note 8 just gives the better gaming experience for its better processor and better graphics card. Not the games look bad on here, even higher end games don't look too bad on here, but I would say overall the Note 8 would be better for gaming. Check out the gaming review for the full details on each one, but overall the Note 8 would be the better for you gamers out there that want to strictly use tablet more for gaming. Both of them have 16 gigs built-in storage and expandable memory, so no difference in that. Now, when it comes right down to battery life, I find myself actually surprised that the Tab 3 8.0 overall seems to have the better battery life in both when I don't use it and in when I use it. Just overall, it seems to keep going longer compared to the Note 8. When I go over it throughout the day, I find myself putting this one in power saving mode, which brings it down to a dual core, whereas this one obviously is a dual core, so I don't ever need to do that. And this one, even when this one's in power saving mode and when this one's not, which it does have a power saving mode if I'm not mistaken, yes. So it does slow down the processor, but typically this one will still give you the Tab 3 8.0 will give you the better battery life overall. From what I've seen at least. So that would be it. Now when it comes to the extras, these tablets pretty much are on par with each other with the extras. They're going to have the same pretty much built-in apps, almost identical to each other. You are also going to have the same expandability, IR blasters, all that kind of fun stuff. So where it really comes down to that the extra wins is, of course, with the Note 8. It is a Note device, so you do get the pen, which allows you to use it for navigation, as well as gesture-based things to basically be able to run apps really quickly or do anything you really want to. So it's a nice thing of having quick commands, all these kind of extra stuff. It's just extras. Maybe people won't need it, but it's just something you have there. So for that reason, the Note 8 will win the extras category. Now, when it comes to price point, we're obviously going to have an easier choice here. And that is that the Galaxy Tab 3 8.0 comes in at $299, whereas the Note 8.0 comes in at $379. Now, what do we get in exchange for this? Well, a couple of different things. This one now has Android 4.2, despite Best Buy still having 4.12 on here. So we can see this one is upgrading quicker than this model is. This one does not have, this one still has 4.1.2, as you can see from just the two-finger gesture. So this one is upgrading quicker. When it comes to everything else, we do have, of course, a faster processor on here. We have a quad-core versus a dual-core processor in terms of 1.5 dual-core versus 1.6 quad-core. In terms of screen resolution, again, they are the same. Both screens are going to be pretty much identical. Cameras both have a rear 5 megapixel and a front 1.3. As well as both have 16 gigs of built-in storage. Now, the only thing I'm trying to remember is if this one had 2 gigs of RAM, which I believe it does. Let me double check that just for correct purposes. And in terms of RAM, sorry, I just wanted to make sure. So this does seem to, oh yes, this has 1.5 gigs RAM. So a little bit less RAM in that case. And even though it doesn't say on here, I just remembered, I'm almost positive that was 1.5 gigs. So overall, is it worth more money for the $379 for just thinking about price point and better bang for your buck? Considering the Tab 3 does, for the most part, all the similar features that most users would want in a tablet, I would say that price will go to the Tab 3 8.0. So let's tally them up and see who wins. So when it comes to look and feel, the Tab 3 8.0 is the one to go with. Just thinner bezels on the side make you envious when you're looking at your Note 8.0 and seeing the tab. It just really makes you envious of these thinner bezels. In terms of web browsing, it is going to go to the Note 8.0, just a little bit less choppy, as well as definitely has an advantage because of the S Pen. In terms of both music and movies, these tablets are really freaking similar. So they went to a tie for both of those. They're really very similar when it comes to music and movies. Sound is almost identical, and movie watching experience, again, is almost identical. You're really not going to have a bad experience with either one. They have very loud speakers and really good screens. For camera, it's going to go to the Note 8.0, just handled coloring better, as well as low light better, and clarity. Gaming is going to go to the Note 8.0, just as the better graphics card and better processor, so overall better experience will be for gaming on the Note 8.0. Battery life, it'll actually go to the Tab 3, just a bit slightly better in terms of battery life overall. Just lasted a little bit longer throughout the day. I would say it's more of a half an hour difference than an hour difference. Sometimes it could be an hour, but definitely on standby time, the Tab 3 just has really the best standby time I've seen. In terms of extras, it will go to the Note 8.0. It's going to be just having the extra of the S Pen, just a better overall extra for writing notes and doing a couple of different things, because both have most of the other similar features. In terms of price point, it will go to the Tab 3 8.0. Just going to be the best bang for your buck for its $80 cheaper price tag. Now, when we tally all these up, what do we get? The Note 8 takes it by 1 point. So depending on what you're using it for, if you just want a great tablet that has an 8-inch screen with a good battery life for the price, you're going to want to go with the Tab 3. If, however, you want a tablet with a little bit more, a bit better for web browsing, has a bit better camera, and definitely better for gaming, and with its extra of the S Pen feature, then you're going to want to go for the Note 8.0. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This has been the comparison between the Tab 3 and 8.0. Please give a like if you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.